Did you know that approximately 48 million Americans find themselves battling foodborne illnesses annually? And tragically, over 3,000 of them succumb to these ailments? A significant portion of these individuals are senior citizens. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, older adults face a considerably heightened risk due to the natural weakening of their immune systems as they age. What's truly concerning is that many of these illnesses originate right within our refrigerators, the very appliances we rely on to safeguard our food. Recent studies have revealed that improperly storing certain foods in the refrigerator can significantly elevate the risk of food poisoning, deplete essential nutrients, and even instigate detrimental chemical transformations, posing particular hazards to seniors. Alarmingly, the majority of people remain unaware of these risks. If you've been habitually placing specific fruits, vegetables, or pantry staples into your refrigerator without a second thought, you might be unknowingly jeopardizing your health. In fact, the number one item on this list is more detrimental than you might imagine. It not only loses its nutritional value, but may also generate toxic compounds when chilled. So stick with us until the end, because the information you gain today could safeguard your well-being or even save your life. If you're ready to get started, let's dive in. But before we do, if you haven't already subscribed, I highly recommend you click that button and activate the notification bell so you never miss out on any health tips tailored just for you. If you find value in this video, please type 1 in the comments. If not, type C to let me know how I can improve my content for you. Here are 3 foods you should never refrigerate. First, peanut butter. For many older adults, peanut butter transcends being merely a snack. It represents comfort. It's a familiar spread from childhood that, in their later years, offers a convenient and accessible source of protein and healthy fats. But what if this trusted staple, which quietly resides in your refrigerator, is actually causing more harm than good? It might come as a surprise to you, but refrigerating peanut butter, especially for seniors, is a mistake that carries a hidden cost. When you put peanut butter in the refrigerator, it undergoes physical changes that may initially seem insignificant. The oils within the peanut butter begin to harden, causing the texture to thicken, resulting in a stiff consistency that can be difficult to spread without applying excessive force. But for seniors who are grappling with arthritis, diminished grip strength, or reduced hand mobility, this seemingly minor inconvenience can quickly transform into a daily struggle. The simple task of preparing a sandwich can become a source of frustration, even pain. What once brought ease and comfort now presents resistance and difficulty. However, texture is only the superficial issue. The colder temperature in the refrigerator alters the stability of the heart-healthy fats present in peanut butter, particularly the monounsaturated fats that play a vital role in maintaining cholesterol balance and supporting vascular health. When peanut butter is repeatedly moved in and out of cold environments, these fats can begin to degrade, leading to a process called oxidation. And oxidation is a significant concern. It implies that the very peanut butter you're relying on for heart support might now be contributing to increased inflammation, thereby undermining the very organs you're trying to protect. And then there's the price you pay, invisibly but profoundly. Over time, refrigerated peanut butter starts to lose key nutrients, including vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that is essential for maintaining optimal brain function and mitigating oxidative stress in aging cells. For older adults who are actively striving to preserve cognitive clarity and protect their memory, this nutrient loss is far from trivial. It represents a gradual erosion of something vital and essential. You might not detect the change in taste, and you may not observe any visible alterations. However, with each chilled spoonful, you're gradually diminishing one of the few easy, nourishing foods that should be actively supporting your aging body, rather than working against it. And if that wasn't enough, consider the emotional toll. Food, particularly for seniors, is more than just fuel. It's a ritual, a source of joy, independence, and routine. When that ritual becomes challenging or disappointing due to a hard, bitter spread that no longer provides the comfort it once did, it chips away at their overall quality of life. In this instance, the refrigerator doesn't serve to preserve. Instead, it robs. The solution is both simple and effective. Store your peanut butter in a cool, dry pantry, ensuring it's tightly sealed and shielded from direct heat or sunlight. This will help it maintain its creamy, spreadable texture, as well as its nutritional integrity. Your hands will express their gratitude, and so will your heart. But if peanut butter, which seems relatively harmless, still poses hidden risks, what about another kitchen staple that's even more deceptive? One that can quietly ruin your meals, spread bacteria, and leave your refrigerator with an odor that signals something far more concerning. Let's talk about onions. If you're still engaged and finding these insights valuable, please comment with the number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now, let's move on to point number 2. Second, onions. Onions are unsung heroes in the kitchen. They rarely command the spotlight, yet they form the foundation of countless meals that bring comfort, connection, and warmth, particularly for seniors who find profound meaning in home-cooked food. However, what many people don't realize is that storing onions in the refrigerator gradually degrades not only their flavor and texture, but potentially your health as well. And by the time you become aware of the issue, it might already be too late. When you place whole onions into the cold, humid environment of your refrigerator, a subtle yet damaging process begins to unfold. Onions, naturally encased in a protective papery skin, are designed to thrive in dry, well-ventilated spaces. However, the refrigerator disrupts this balance. Moisture seeps in, causing the layers to soften, and the once firm, pungent vegetable transforms into a mushy, musty, and mold-prone state. For seniors with sensitive digestive systems or compromised immune function, this isn't just about an unappealing texture. It's about potential health risks. Mold and bacteria, which flourish in damp conditions, can contaminate cut onions even when stored in containers, introducing invisible microbes that the aging body may no longer possess the strength to combat effectively. Then there's the price you pay, and it extends far beyond a soggy side dish. Onions contain quercetin, a potent anti-inflammatory compound renowned for its ability to alleviate joint pain and safeguard against heart disease. However, when stored in the refrigerator, the breakdown of cellular structure accelerates nutrient loss, particularly quercetin and other vital flavonoids. This means that the very food that could provide relief from arthritis or support your heart's health is silently losing its healing properties. There's also a hidden emotional cost when familiar foods no longer behave or taste as they should. When your onions taste dull or sour, or worse, leave your refrigerator tainted with a persistent, unpleasant smell, the trust you once placed in your kitchen starts to waver. And in later years, when food serves as both medicine and a source of cherished memories, even these seemingly minor disruptions can chip away at your peace of mind and confidence. The good news is that you can regain control. Whole onions belong in a dark, dry basket. Provide them with air, not cold. Respect their natural requirements, and they'll reward you with enhanced flavor and health benefits. But as beneficial as onions are when stored correctly, they pale in comparison to the next item, a fruit so calm, so common, and seemingly harmless, yet so easily ruined by refrigeration that its very nutrients begin to vanish before your eyes. You've likely eaten one today, but did you store it the right way? Let's discuss bananas. Third, bananas. There's something deeply comforting about bananas. They're soft, sweet, and easy to digest. They're often among the first fruits we consume as children, and one of the last we continue to enjoy in our later years. For seniors, bananas are more than just a convenient snack. They're a source of energy, potassium, and comfort. However, sadly, the simple act of placing a banana in the refrigerator, often done with the best intentions, can quietly strip away all the qualities that make this fruit so beneficial for aging bodies. At first glance, cold storage may seem innocuous. After all, the peel merely darkens, right? But what you're witnessing is a reaction to cold injury. Bananas are tropical fruits that were never intended to endure the chill of refrigeration. When subjected to low temperatures, their ripening enzymes cease functioning, halting the natural conversion of starches to sugars. The result is a banana that remains firm but lacks flavor, one that appears ripe on the outside but feels unripe and unappetizing on the inside. Beyond being simply disappointing to bite into, this transformation robs the banana of crucial nutrients, notably dopamine and catechins, antioxidants that aid in reducing inflammation and protecting brain function. For seniors, these compounds are particularly vital, as they support emotional balance, protect against cognitive decline, and combat oxidative stress. However, once chilled, their levels diminish quietly and irreversibly. And here's the price you pay. When you refrigerate bananas, you not only compromise their flavor and texture, but also diminish their purpose. A fruit that once supported your nervous system and heart health transforms into a bland, mushy shadow of what it was meant to be. Furthermore, overripe bananas stored in the refrigerator can begin to accumulate moisture beneath the skin, fostering the growth of mold near the stem, a subtle but serious risk, especially for seniors with weakened immune systems. It's not solely about nutrients, it's also about trust. In these later years, when every meal carries more significance and every choice should bolster strength, clarity, and longevity, even something as familiar as a banana can betray you if misunderstood. The solution is as natural as the fruit itself. Store bananas at room temperature, ideally on a hook or in an open fruit bowl where air can circulate freely. If they ripen too quickly, peel and freeze them for use in smoothies or baking. But don't allow the cold to diminish their value and deprive you of their benefits. We've now explored how common mistakes in food storage can subtly erode your well-being. But what about the foods that absolutely must be kept cold, or else become dangerous in ways you'd never expect? Let's turn the page, because the next few items could truly protect your life. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment with the number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now, let's continue with point number 4. Here are 3 foods you must keep cold or risk dangerous health effects. First, cooked meats and leftovers. There's a certain sense of peace that accompanies a home-cooked meal. The familiar aroma, the warmth on the plate, and the comfort of knowing precisely what's in your food. For many older adults, leftovers aren't merely about convenience. They're about maintaining independence in the kitchen, stretching their budget, and preserving the flavors of home. But that peace can swiftly transform into a silent threat if those leftovers, particularly cooked meats, are not promptly and properly refrigerated. What most people don't realize is that even after food is cooked, the danger doesn't disappear. In fact, it can intensify. The moment cooked meat cools on the counter, bacteria such as Listeria, Clostridium perfringens, and Salmonella begin to multiply. And for seniors, this multiplication occurs against a backdrop of weakened immune systems and slower digestive responses. Unlike younger adults, who may recover from foodborne illnesses with a few days of discomfort, older adults can face hospitalization, severe dehydration, and even death. It only takes 2 hours at room temperature for bacteria to reach dangerous levels, and these microbes don't alter the color or smell of your food. You won't know they're present until your body pays the price. The deeper danger lies in what these bacteria do once inside you. Food poisoning in seniors often doesn't manifest as a sudden stomach upset. Instead, it might present as confusion, dizziness, or a subtle fever, signs that are easily mistaken for something else. If left untreated, a simple piece of meat left out for too long can trigger systemic inflammation, worsen arthritis, or place added strain on the heart and kidneys, which are already vulnerable in older age. It's not about being fearful, it's about being aware. Proper refrigeration isn't merely a matter of taste, it's a matter of protection. Using a sealed container, quickly transferring leftovers to the refrigerator, and keeping a watchful eye on how long leftovers sit out can be the difference between a nourishing second meal and a trip to the emergency room. And so the rule is simple. If you're not eating it now, cool it down and get it into the refrigerator quickly. Then, mark the date. Most leftovers are safest to consume within 3 to 4 days. Beyond that, even if they look fine, the risk becomes too great. But while meat and leftovers demand refrigeration, they aren't the only foods that can rapidly become harmful. There's another everyday item, smooth, white, comforting, that spoils more quickly than you might imagine. And when it does, the damage to your body can run deeper than an upset stomach. Let's talk about dairy. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment with the number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now, let's move on to point number 2. Second, dairy products. There's something timeless about dairy. A glass of milk with breakfast, a slice of cheese with crackers, a spoonful of yogurt to soothe the stomach. These simple comforts, often rooted in habit, nostalgia, or even childhood memory, remain part of the daily routine for many seniors. But behind their soft texture and creamy flavor lies a quiet truth. Dairy must be kept cold, or the consequences can be serious, even life-threatening. Milk, cheese, yogurt, they're all rich in proteins, healthy fats, calcium, and vitamins like B12 and D, which are especially important as we age. But these same nutrients also make dairy the perfect breeding ground for bacteria when not stored at the right temperature. And for older adults, this risk is amplified. As we age, our stomach acid becomes less acidic, our immune systems less responsive, and our tolerance for bacterial threats significantly reduced. What might cause mild discomfort in a younger person could, for a senior, result in severe foodborne illness, hospitalization, or worse. When dairy products are left out, even for just a few hours, their chemical structure begins to change. Bacteria multiply silently. You can't see them, and sometimes you can't even smell them, but they're there. And they don't just spoil the taste. They can trigger digestive distress, joint flare-ups, and systemic inflammation. For those already managing conditions like arthritis, cardiovascular disease, or irritable bowel issues, contaminated dairy can push the body past its limit. And here's the price you pay when dairy isn't kept cold. Your body may face a cascade of responses it no longer handles well: dehydration from vomiting or diarrhea, joint pain that lasts for days, fatigue that won't lift. It's not just spoiled food, it's stolen energy, robbed peace, fatigue, and unnecessary suffering, all because of one simple oversight. Fortunately, the solution is as practical as it is powerful. Refrigerate all dairy immediately after use. Keep your refrigerator below 40 degrees. Store items in airtight containers and respect expiration dates. Never gamble with your gut because recovery takes longer and the setbacks can linger. But what if we told you that not just spoilage, but nutrient loss can sneak in when another essential food isn't kept cold? A food that many seniors rely on for vitamins, minerals, and even cognitive support. Yet it wilts quickly and loses its power without proper care. It's not what you'd expect, and that's exactly why it's so often mishandled. Let's talk about leafy greens. Third, leafy greens. They may look delicate, but leafy greens are nutritional powerhouses, especially for seniors. A handful of spinach in a morning omelet, a crisp salad at lunch, or sautéed kale with dinner. These humble leaves carry essential nutrients that support memory, bone strength, circulation, and even mood. Yet, for all their strength, leafy greens are also among the most fragile foods in your kitchen, and failing to keep them cold can mean losing nearly everything they offer. Once harvested, greens begin to break down almost immediately. Unlike hardy root vegetables or shelf-stable pantry items, these leaves rely on cool temperatures to stay alive, in taste, in texture, and in nutrition. Left at room temperature for even a few hours, they begin to wilt. But more importantly, they begin to lose vital compounds like folate, vitamin K, and lutein, nutrients that are especially important for seniors aiming to protect cognitive health, eye function, and cardiovascular resilience. What's worse is that this isn't just about nutrient loss. As the leaves soften and moisture begins to collect, whether on your counter or in a poorly sealed container, they become a welcoming mat for bacterial growth. Spoiled greens are often visually deceiving. A few damp spots or wilted edges may not seem like a concern, but inside those moist creases, Harmful pathogens like E. coli and Listeria can flourish, both of which have caused serious outbreaks tied to improperly stored produce. And the price you pay for ignoring proper refrigeration isn't just a soggy salad. It could be a bacterial infection that causes long-term digestive distress, worsens joint inflammation, or triggers dehydration and weakness, all far more dangerous for an aging body. It's a stolen opportunity to nourish your brain with folate, your bones with calcium-absorbing vitamin K, and your heart with antioxidant protection. It's a quiet loss that no one sees until it's too late. But the solution lies in care and intention. Greens should be stored in the crisper drawer, gently wrapped in a paper towel to absorb excess moisture, and placed in breathable bags or containers. The goal isn't just to make them last longer, it's to preserve the power they carry. Now, as we close this chapter on what to keep cold and what not to, the question becomes even more personal. How much of what we do in our kitchen is out of habit, and how much is out of understanding? Because behind every food we store, there's a choice that either strengthens or weakens our aging body. Let's take a closer look at what those small choices really mean. Your fridge, your health. Make it work for you. As we've seen today, not everything belongs in the refrigerator. Some foods lose their nutrition, others become breeding grounds for harmful bacteria, and a few may even turn toxic. For seniors, these small decisions in the kitchen are far more than habits. They're choices that directly impact your health, your energy, and your quality of life. It might seem minor to store a banana on the counter instead of in the fridge, or to move your onions to a dry pantry shelf. But when you look at the bigger picture, these simple changes can help you protect your digestive health, reduce inflammation, preserve your immune system, and even help your medications work more effectively. And isn't that what we all want as we age? Not just to live longer, but to live better. One thing I've learned, especially with age, is that our bodies speak in quiet ways. The aches, the fatigue, the upset stomachs. They're not random, they're messages. And often they're connected to what we eat and how we store what we eat. The refrigerator isn't the enemy, but misusing it can quietly undermine your well-being. Now, this isn't about fear. It's about awareness, about taking back control over the little things that actually matter. A kitchen that supports your health doesn't require expensive gadgets or fancy diets. It starts with knowing which foods thrive in the cold and which ones don't. So, here's my advice from one senior to another. Reorganize your fridge and pantry this week. Not all at once, just a little each day. Label and date your leftovers. Give yourself peace of mind. Keep a short list of foods that should never be refrigerated taped to your fridge door. Make it visible. Simple reminders go a long way. And most importantly, share what you've learned with a neighbor, a friend, your children, or grandchildren, because this knowledge isn't just for you. It's a small act of care that could ripple out and help someone else avoid unnecessary illness or discomfort. The truth is, we've all made mistakes in the kitchen. I know I have. But it's never too late to change a habit, to learn something new, or to take better care of yourself, because your body, your time, and your health are worth protecting. Thank you for spending these moments with me. If you found this helpful, share it with someone you care about. You never know, it could be exactly what they need to hear today. Until next time, take care of your food, and it will take care of you. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.